This week, the title is What Message Are You Sending? And that came about this week not as a result of an email or a phone call, but a meeting that I sat in. And, you know, the person that had the meeting came in, and the first thing they did was they were complaining that the weather sucks, the market's soft, they were sick and tired of being cold. And while they were complaining about things, I wrote down this phrase, what message are you sending, with a question mark. Because as a leader, none of that can matter. All that matters is who I am and what I represent as a leader. You may have heard this before, but when communicating with someone, 7% of the effective message that they get, 7% of the words that we use, 38% of their perception of the message is tonality, and 55% is the physiology. That's how we carry ourselves. Are we leaning in close to someone to say something? Are we towering over them, lording over them, if you will? So if your body language, and you hear it now in sports, they talk about so-and-so's body language is bad. You can look at the way that someone's got their shoulders slumped, or conversely, they have their shoulders back and they're standing tall. Do you carry yourself open, friendly, approachable? There are people that don't go near someone in management just because of the way they carry themselves. It isn't even what they say. I've had numerous leaders that I've coached and been privileged to work with say things to me like, well, so-and-so just won't come to me. They never ask me for any help. I wonder why. Find a mirror. Listen to yourself. Is it your tonality? Is it the words you use? The words are only 7%. Why can a comedian get away with telling you you're a no-good SOB and we laugh? It's because of their physiology. You know, the body language is a little goofy. The tonality, they're sarcastic. And the words they use don't mean that much. Try that with a serious face and say it to someone. Those are fighting words. So, 55% physiology, 38% tonality. Those things are 100% in your control. So even if the words are a little bit off, they are the least effective part of a message. What message are you sending? Have you ever made a rule in your business or a policy because of just one person's actions? It's an important question to ask yourself, because if you have, what message are you sending? I can't manage or won't manage one person, so I'm going to make a rule for the other 5 people. Well, that's not fair. And what message are you sending? The message you're sending is the one person who's behaving poorly is actually in charge of everyone else, because we're going to change the rules for everyone else because of one person's bad behavior. The person doing the wrong thing, well, we punish or inconvenience everyone else. That doesn't make sense. Have you ever had a meeting with anywhere from, 2 to 24 people, and you're very upset, very firm, maybe you're cursing at people, you're minimizing them, you belittle them for the actions of an entire group really based upon the action of 1 or 2 people? Most of us in management have had that happen. We've gotten very upset about something, and we've discussed it with the whole group. But our tonality and our physiology that make up 93% of the message comes across incredibly negative towards a majority of the people who are not the problem. Somewhere we got it in our heads that if we don't address everyone all together, it's like we're singling people out. Well, guess what? The people that don't do the right thing, they should be singled out. And it shouldn't be publicly. It should be privately. Again, what message are you sending? Have you ever written an email or a memo where you say something to the effect of, or done it in a meeting, I will no longer put up with or allow fill in the blank? Whatever it is that you make that proclamation statement, I will no longer allow this, I'll no longer put up with it, I'll no longer tolerate it. What's the message you're sending? I allowed, as a leader, the wrong things to go on, and I'm frustrated with myself, so I'm going to make this declaration to everyone else. So the message you're sending is, I didn't manage or I didn't lead properly, and you people are going to pay for it. Again, what message are you sending? Now enough beating up on management and leadership, since we've all been there and we all have our own crosses to bear. So enough beating up for everybody for the moment. From this moment forward, be the person and be the worthy leader that you were graced to be, that you were tasked to be. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Nobody fixes dramatic things overnight. We fix them day to day. And I'm going to give you some ideas to maybe pass along to your staff and things for you to do. Put in a calendar somewhere. This is important. You know, if you would put down an appointment to have your hair done or to visit a chiropractor, that's important. You know what? Put down the management things and the leadership things that you need to be doing on a consistent basis in a calendar because it's important. Why do you write the other thing down? So you don't forget. Same thing. Make yourself a leadership or a management calendar. You know what? Send a positive, constructive message 2 to 3 times a week to your team. Post it, email it, put it in their paychecks 2 times a month. You reach out and you'll be amazed at who reaches back. And more importantly, you'll be amazed at what they give back. You know, failure, especially in management and leadership, failure in our lives doesn't come from falling down. Every one of us will fall down in our job, our responsibilities as leaders. We're going to fall down in our responsibilities to our family. It's going to happen. We're going to fall down. We're going to fail. True failure comes from not getting up with the honest effort to do better and be better next time. You know, the idea that that's the way it's always been for me doesn't mean it's always the way it will be for you unless you choose to have that happen. You know, take an inventory of yourself as a leader. And again, that's a leader as a parent. It's a leader in your work life. Adjust where you need to adjust and stay focused on the question today. What message am I sending? People know that when someone truly cares about them, they make an effort. They don't make an excuse. They make an effort. And if you want, you take some positive messages to help your people. And a couple of them are, you know, when we don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we face challenges. I'd rather look back at my life and say, I can't believe I did that, instead of saying, I wish I did that. Someone once told me there's no such thing as an ordinary moment. And I was really young at the time, and I got it, but I didn't get it. As I've gotten older, I've come to appreciate that statement. There are no ordinary moments, and the reason there aren't is because this one never comes again. What are you going to do with it? How about this? Try this one on your people. Write it down somewhere. Send it an email. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you'll learn. Losing and failure is not trying again, not learning from it. So sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. Making a big change in your life, in your management style, in your parenting style, in your relationship styles, that's scary. You know what's scarier than that is regret of not doing it. You know, the parents that we have influenced us. The friends we have influence us. The bosses and leaders and coworkers we have, they influence us. Who are you? How would you rate yourself as an influencer? And again, today's topic, what message do you send? You got to focus on sending the right message to everybody every day. If you do that, you're going to find that you're going to get better results, far better results. And the best way to lead people is from the front. Try and tell people, whether it's your own children or anyone else, to do as I say, not as I do. It just doesn't cut it. It doesn't work. And that meeting that I was in where that person who's a leader in his business came in and literally the first minute was filled up with all kinds of complaints, almost all of which that person couldn't control or change. So what message is he sending? We're a victim to things we can't change. No, we accept things we can't change. That's what we do with the things we can't change, just accept them. And if you don't show that, your people will never adopt it. So as a leader, you show the right way. You make sure that you realize every day that you can answer this question the right way. What message am I sending? Send the right messages. Reach out to your people. They're your people. And that is what I have to cover today. Mike, I want to thank you very much for hosting the call again. And as always, I will handle any calls that come in probably by tomorrow this week. And any emails I will answer by midnight normally, Eastern time. So anybody has a question, feel free to write me. And otherwise, you can call me directly, Morris. The number is 814-449-1899.